Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Friday. It is March 14th, and I'm back breaking down some more NCAA basketball for the Friday slate of games. Had a beautiful Thursday, 4-0. We needed a half quarter to cover the spread for Xavier, but we get it done. 4-0 day, 2-0 on the game picks, 2-0 on the player props. Oregon -2.5, back and forth with Indiana the entire game. Last 8 minutes, Indiana scored, I think, 2 points in like 7-minute stretch. Oregon takes that one by double-digit points, win that one. Xavier +2.5, up by 14. Up by 14 points in the second half. They were leading the entire game, and then in the final 6 minutes, Marquette goes on a massive run. They get up by 5. It was a free throw battle in the last 10 or 15 seconds, and Ryan Conwell, who had his best performance of his entire career, banks one in from just over half court to cover the spread +2.5. Shout out Ryan Conwell. Scores nearly 40 points in the game, had the 14.5. He almost hit that in the first half. And then Milan, however you want to say it, Momcilovic, over 11.5, had 10 at the half. Finished with 18 as Iowa State and BYU gives us another game where it was just heavyweight battle. One punch, another punch. One person gets knocked down. The other one gets knocked down. Looking like we were going to get overtime, or 2 overtimes once again. They had an double overtime game already this year. It was just awesome to watch. Curtis Jones in the first half scores 20-plus points. He was shut out in the second half, but BYU finds a way. They found a way to win that game. We're going to talk about them again today. Let's go talk about the games, though, for Friday. Wichita State going up against Memphis. Wichita State beat South Florida. Not a very good South Florida team, but they got the job done. Xavier Bell, their best player, he didn't play. He was in a lot of foul trouble, picked up 4 fouls. I want to say with like 8 minutes left in the game, 9-10 minutes left in the game. He only scored 6 points, but I do think he's going to have a pretty good game in this one going up against Memphis. He was shut out the last time, basically going up against Memphis as well. I'm going to talk about a teammate for Wichita State that might have a big day here, but I like Wichita State to cover the number. +9.5. It feels like way too many points. These teams have met a couple times this season. Wichita State's already beat Memphis 84-79. In overtime, Memphis beat them 61-53. So both these teams, they can get in high-scoring games, they can get in low-scoring games. But what has stayed consistent is these teams, when they play, typically the number is within 10. This is sitting at +9.5. I understand Memphis is a dangerous team, but they're also pretty weak defensively, and they go on these streaks of offense where they don't score 4 or 5 minutes. I saw that going up against, was it South Florida? I think the last game they played against South Florida, we saw a lot of streaks for Memphis in that first half where they just couldn't get a bucket. They did win that game pretty easily, though, by double-digit points, but they just turned it on the second half. I think this is going to be a close game. I think Wichita State will be able to battle, will be able to play good defense. They can make timely threes. Too many points. Rivalry matchup, +9.5 with Wichita State is going to be the play. BYU going up against Houston is going to be the other play for the day. Big 12, I think the winner of this game wins it all unless Arizona, they're kind of beating the shit out of Kansas right now, 29-19. But if Arizona gets hot, maybe Arizona can knock one of these teams off. I think the winner of this one might win the Big 12. Houston's a very good team. Houston's already played BYU this season, beat them by 30. This is not the same BYU team. They played Houston on January 4th. They won 86-55. This is a completely different BYU team. They've knocked off Iowa State twice over the last week and a half, playing high-scoring games in both those ones. Iowa State's a pretty good defensive team on the season. Houston is the best or second-best defensive team in the country. But again, 7.5 points feels like a lot. And with the way BYU's shooting, with the way BYU's playing, they never give up. They got out to a hot start against Iowa State, got knocked down by 10, and then they found a way to bounce back and win that game. It's March. It's March Madness for a reason. I think BYU can win this game against Houston. I think Houston's a very good team, but I really haven't been liking the way they've been playing. They played Colorado the other day 77-68. They played Baylor to 65-61. Kansas 65-59. They didn't play well in the second half against Kansas either. LJ Cryer had 19 points in the first half. Nobody can make a bucket for Houston. I think BYU, if they get hot, they can win this game. And I do think they cover the number. +7.5 is going to be the final game pick of the day. Let's go to the player props. Corey Washington is the name we're going to talk about instead of Xavier Bell. Xavier Bell against Memphis the first and second time. I'm almost positive he was on under 10 points. I looked it up before, but I don't have it up on me right now. But we're going to go with Corey Washington because he has been very good against Memphis both times. Against Memphis, he scored 11 points the first game. Not the best game, but he was 4-9 from the field, 11 points. Second game, the overtime game that they won, 6 of 19 from the field. That is a little bit concerning. He shot 31%, but 19 attempts is what I'm looking at. He scored 18 points in the game, and he's coming off one of his best games of the season going up against South Florida. I told you Xavier Bell was in that foul trouble. This is the guy who stepped up for Wichita State. You need guys to step up in March. This looks like the guy for Wichita State stepping up. 8 of 16 from the field going up against South Florida, 21 points, and 4 of 6 from the outside. We have not seen him shoot from deep all season long, and out of nowhere, he goes 4 of 6 from the outside. I like what I'm seeing from Corey Washington. I'm going to take him in this game in a must-win game for the Shockers. Over 11.5, maybe 12.5 points as the first player prop of the day. And second player prop of the day, tough to see. It's tough to see Cooper Flagg go down. Severe ankle injury. What it looked like. I think it's just going to be a sprain, but it looks like he might have avoided a break. I don't even know how he was up so high in the air. Just his ankle just gave out on him. Sometimes that happens, especially if the ankle's already weak. He got wheelchaired off. I highly doubt we see him in the ACC tournament. I hope we see him in March Madness, maybe the Sweet 16. He can find a way to get himself back in the action, maybe even before that. But I don't think Duke is going to risk anything, at least until the round of 32, because they've got the 1 seed. They've definitely locked up the 1 seed, I think. You can beat the 16 seed without Cooper Flagg. Obviously, you have 3 NBA talent guys, one of them being Con Nepple. And I think they'll just let him sit until the Sweet 16, maybe round of 32. But I am a little bit upset Cooper Flagg got injured. Georgia Tech was giving them hell in the first half. They were winning that game, Georgia Tech, and then Con Nepple second half. And just the support of the Duke players, even bench players, they won that game by 8 points. I should have took them live. I was a little bit scared to take them live. Just a coward. But should have took them minus 5.5. Con Nepple scored 28 points in that game. And I think, once again, he's going to be used a lot in this one. He's got to step up. Cooper Flagg's been the guy for Duke all season long. 13.5 to 17.5. I put a wide range on there because I'm not sure what it's going to come out at. I can see 14.5. I can see 19.5. So we'll see what it comes out at. This is going to be a rivalry game. North Carolina probably at least got to stay within 10 points to have a shot at the March Madness tournament. We'll see what happens. I think North Carolina's on the first 4 out, so they might even have to win this game. I think it's going to be a competitive game, and I think Con's going to have a big one over the total points as the final player prop of the day. Let's go to the recap graphic. We are going to take Wichita State with the points. Rivalry matchup. Love that one. BYU plus 7.5. I think BYU can win that game going up against Houston. Corey Washington over the total points. 11.5, 12.5 going up against Memphis. And then finally, Con Kneppel over his total points going up against UNC. He's got to step up without Cooper Flagg. Did it in the first game against Georgia Tech with 28. He's going to do it in this game as well. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Friday, March 14th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.